Hi guys, it's me, Miss Boric, and I am here today to read to you. Shocker, I'm always here to read to you. But guess what? I have another great book. Maybe I should think of a different adjective to use. I have an amazing book to read to you today. Yes, it's an informative text. Do you know what that means? Yes, it's a book that gives you facts and information. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to read a book called How Mountains Are Made. Now remember, this whole unit is all about how our earth changes. And today we're going to learn some new ways. Well, they're new ways to us. Like, it's been happening for millions of years, but they're new ways. We're learning new ways that the earth changes, okay? Things that causes the earth to change. And guess what? That is our question for today. What causes the earth to change? Now, because we are talking about causes, we are going to be using a partial multi-flow. Okay, so that's the map that we're creating. So our event is the earth changes. And in our book, we're going to find out why. What causes our earth to change? Boys and girls, you need your journal and your pencil, like always. If you do not have your journal and your pencil, hit pause, grab your journal, grab your pencil, and copy this map down. I'm going to move out of the way so you can copy it down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our focus question for today is what causes the earth to change? We are looking for things that cause our earth to change. Maybe you already know some things like volcanoes that Mrs. Cicero taught you about. Yeah. Or maybe you even remember that book that we read or that you took home when you were here at school. Yes, the book about the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. In that book, we learned that volcanoes cause our earth to change, right? Well, today we're going to learn some new things that cause our earth to change. Are you guys ready? Me too. Let's get started. How are mountains made? That's the name of our book. How are mountains made? On Saturdays, sometimes we go mountain climbing. We follow a trail through a thick forest. At first, the climb is easy. Have you guys ever been hiking? Me too. It's super fun, but you have to be careful, very careful. We live in a little town in a valley. There are mountains all around us. Sounds like us, right? If you look that way, there's mountains, there's mountains, there's mountains. There's mountains all around us. And we live in a valley, like Apple Valley, right? All right, let's keep reading. Then it gets steeper and steeper. We must stop on a rock ledge halfway up to eat our lunch. They got a little hungry on their hike. When we start out again, we have to walk more slowly. The slope is getting very steep. The forest is thinning out. And the talls are trees. And the trees are shorter. We can see the top of the mountain, but it seems to take forever to get there. Are we there yet? Sounds like my little sister on a long road trip, right? Are we there yet, Mom? Are we there yet, Dad? Sometimes it seems like it takes forever to get places, right? When we reach the top, we can see out in every direction. There are hardly any trees up here, and the land is rocky. This mountain is more than 4,000 feet high. That's nearly a mile. There are no oceans up here. How did a sea animal get to the top of this mountain? Look, they found it says, cool, it's a fossil. Fossils are the remains of animals that lived millions of years ago. It's an ocean animal at the top of the mountain. Well, at least the fossil of an ocean animal. Yeah, the remains of an animal that lived a long time ago. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest in Nepal. It is 29,028 feet high. That's almost 5.5 miles. But fossil seashells have been found on Mount Everest too. So it's almost 30,000 feet high in the air, but there are fossils of seashells found there too. But how? You might be thinking, you might be connecting this book to our book that we read last week. Yes, the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park book. Because in that book, we read that Hawaii was formed by a volcano. Remember that? Yeah. And remember, it started deep in the ocean, but then it built up after several explosions and lava seeping out all the time until it formed above the ocean surface. Do you think maybe that's what happened? I don't know. Let's keep reading and find out. Millions of years ago, Mount Everest was not a mountain at all. It was part of a flat plain under an ocean. Well, that's sort of like what we learned about last week. Let's keep reading. Our mountain was a part of a flat plain under an ocean too. All sorts of sea animals lived right here. But that was a long, long time ago. Many changes have happened since then. Maybe we're going to start learning about those changes. Do you think so? I hope so. Let's read this though before we turn the page. Mount Everest would be about this high compared with our mountain. Whoa. What? Wow. Our mountain is less than 1 mile above sea level. Here's sea level. That's where the ocean is. The deep sea plains are between 2 and 3 miles below sea level. And these are all of the creatures that lived a long time ago under the ocean. Yep. Let's keep reading. We're still wondering what causes our Earth to change. I hope we find out soon. What causes our Earth to change? Oh! I already read these words as soon as I turned the page, and I think you better grab your pencil and get ready, because I think we're going to find out that Earth changes because I think we're going to find out. The Earth is always changing. Old mountains disappear. What? Mountains can disappear? But how? What causes mountains to disappear? Tell me! Oh, they just told me. They are worn away by ice, rain, and flowing water. So, ice, rain, and flowing water. 3 things that cause the Earth to change. Ice, rain, and flowing water. Let's add that to our map. So, the Earth changes because of ice. The Earth changes because of rain. The Earth changes because, I forgot, let's look back in. So I got ice, I got rain. Oh, what was the last one? It was flowing water. It's always a good idea to look back in the book if you forgot something you learned. So let's write flowing water now. You know what? I'm just gonna write water. So let's read this again. The Earth changes because of flowing water. Yes. Now we know 3 things in addition to volcanoes that change our Earth's surface. Yeah. Rain, ice, and water. Let's keep reading and see if we can learn anything else. New mountains form where there were no mountains before. Well, that's one way that the Earth changes is by forming new mountains. But what causes new mountains to form? We can't see the changes happening though. Mountains are built up and worn down gradually over hundreds of millions of years. When we look at the Earth, all we see are rocks, soil, trees, and other plants that are growing in the soil. But if we could look inside the Earth, we would see that it's made up of different layers. The surface of the Earth is the first layer. It is made up of soil and the rocks we see around us all the time. Just under the surface is a rocky layer about 35 miles thick called the Earth's crust. So we live on the surface of the Earth. Underneath that is a layer that's 35 miles thick called the crust. Beneath the crust is a layer of rock called the mantle. And in the mantle is where the magma lives. You guys remember what magma is, right? When lava is inside the earth, it's called magma. So I always like to do this. Inside magma, outside lava, cooled rock. So in the mantle is where the magma is. The crust and the upper layer of the mantle together form a hard outer shell called the lithosphere. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop right there. I think we have enough information. We know at least 3 and even 4 things that cause our earth to change. Okay, let's review those again. Let's read off of our map, okay? The earth changes because of ice. Yes, the earth changes because of, rain. And lastly, the earth changes because of water. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all of those 3 things cause our earth to change. Yes, there's also some more things that we're going to learn about later, but that's all you need to know for today. Ladies and gentlemen, please tell me these 3 things that we wrote down on this partial multiflow that cause this to happen. Beep, 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 alert, alert, alert. That is your assignment on Flipgrid for today. Tell me 3 things that cause our earth to change. Because remember, that's what this unit is all about. Whether it's volcanoes, wind, ice, rain, mountains, earthquakes, we're talking all about how the earth is constantly changing. Tell me about it on Flipgrid. What causes our earth to change? 3 things. You know. Remember? Yes, that's it. I can't wait to hear it on Flipgrid. See you later.